Hello, and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to read a part of The Silent Wife. This is already out. It came out in July of 2020. I do get ARCs, but I don't always read them on time before they are published, but I do read them all. And this book I received as a giveaway, and this one, if you watch my haul video, I do have this in my haul video. Yes, and I'm super excited about this one. So let's start off with the first section of the book. So the first section is a prologue. Becky Caterino stared into the darkest corners of the dorm refrigerator. She angrily scanned the food labels, searching for her scrawled initials on anything: cottage cheese, Lunchables, bagel bites, vegan hot dogs, even carrot sticks. KP, Kaylee Pierce, DL, Deshanda Lashland, VS, Vanessa Stutter. Bitches. Becky slammed the front fridge door hard enough to make the beer bottles rattle. She kicked the closest thing she could find, which happened to be the trash can. Empty yogurt containers tumbled out across the floor. Crumbled bags of skinny popcorn. Love those. Diet Coke swilled bottles, all with two letters written in black magic marker across the front. BC. Becky stared at the depleted packages of food that she had brought with her precious little money that her asshole roommates had eaten, while she spent the night at the library working on a paper that was 50% of her organic chemistry grade. She was supposed to meet her professor at 7 to make sure she was right on track. Her eyes flicked to the clock. 4:57 a.m. Fucking bitch, she screamed up at the ceiling. She turned on every light she could find. Her bare feet burned a track across the hall carpet. She was exhausted. She could barely stand up straight. The bag of Doritos and two giant cinnamon rolls from the library vending machine had turned into concrete inside her stomach. The only thing that propelled her from the library to the dorm was the promise of nutrition. Get up, you thriving bitch! She banged her fist so hard on Kaylee's door that it popped open. Pot smoke curtained the ceiling. Kaylee blinked from beneath the sheet. The guy next to her rolled over. Marcus Powell, Vanessa's boyfriend? Shit. Kaylee jumped out of the bed, naked, but for one sock on her left foot. Becky banged her fist against the walls as she made her way to her own bedroom, the smallest bedroom, which she had volunteered to take because she was a doormat who didn't know how to stand up to three girls who were her same age, but had double her bank account. You can't tell Nessa. Kaylee rushed in behind her, still naked. It was nothing, Beck. We got drunk and every freaking story these bitches told started with the same four words. When Vanessa had been caught blowing Dinasha's boyfriend, when Kaylee's brother had accidentally peed in the closet, when Denisha's had borrowed her underwear. They were always drunk or stoned or screwing around or screwing each other because this wasn't college. This was Big Brother where no one could be evicted and everyone got gonorrhea. Come on, Kaylee rubbed her bare arms. She was going to break up with him anyway. Becky could either start screaming and never stop or get out of here as fast as possible. Beck, I'm going for a run. She yanked open the door She looked for her socks, but of course none of her socks matched. Her favorite sports bra was wadded up under the bed. She grabbed her dirty running shorts out of the basket and settled on two mismatched socks, one of which had a hole in the heel. But getting a blister paled in comparison to staying here, where she would go completely crazy on every living organism. Becky, stop being such an a-hole. You're hurting my feelings. Becky ignored the whine. She looped her headphones around her neck. She was shocked to find her iPod shuffle exactly where it was supposed to be. Kaylee was the dorm matron. All of her crimes committed in service of the greater good. She only slept with Marcus because Vanessa had broken his heart. The only reason she copied from Denisha's test was because her mother would be devastated if she failed another class. She eaten Becky's mac and cheese because her father was worried that she was too thin. Beck, Kaylee moved into deflection. Why won't you talk to me? What is this really about? Becky was about to tell her exactly what this was about when she happened to notice that her hair clip wasn't on the nightstand where she left it. The oxygen left in her lungs. Kaylee's hands flew up in innocence. I didn't take it. Becky was momentarily transfixed by the perfectly round areolas of her breast, which stared up like a second set of eyes. Kaylee said, Dude, okay, I ate your shit from the fridge, but I would never touch your hair clip, you know that. Becky felt a black hole opening up in her chest. The hair clip was cheap plastic, the kind of thing you buy at a drugstore, but it meant more to her than anything in the world, because it was the last thing her mother had given her before she got into her car, left for work, and been killed by a drunk driver who was going the wrong way on the interstate. Yo, Blair and Dor- Dorota, keep the scheming down. Vanessa's bedroom door was open. Her eyes were two slits in her sleep-swollen face. She skipped over Kaylee's nakedness and went straight to Becky. Girl, you can't go jogging at damn rape o'clock. Becky started running past the two bitches up the hall, back into the kitchen, through the living room, out the door. Another hallway, three flights of stairs, the main rec room, the glass front door that needed a key card to get back in. But screw that, because she had to get away from these monsters. Away from the casual men of violence. Away from their sharp tongues and pointy breasts and cutting looks. Dew tapped at her legs and she ran across the grassy campus quad. Becky skirted a concrete barrier and hit the main road. There was still a chill in the air. One by one, the streetlights blinkered off in the dawn light. Shadows hugged the trees. She heard someone cough in the distance. Becky's spine was shot through with a sudden shiver. 8 o'clock. Like they cared if Becky got raped. Like they cared if she barely had money for food. That she had to work harder than them. Study harder, try harder, run harder, but always, no matter how much she pushed herself, she ended up 2 steps back from where everyone else got to start. Blair and Dorota, the popular girl and the Cinco fanatic, chubby maid from Gossip Girl. Two guesses at who as to who played which part in everyone's mind. Becky slipped on her headphones. She clicked play on the iPad shuffle, clipped to the tail of her shirt. Flo Rida started up. Can you blow my whistle, baby? Whistle, baby. Her feet matched the beat as they hit the ground. She passed through the front gates that separated the campus from the sad little downtown strip. There were no bars or student hangouts because the university was in a dry country. Her dad said it was like Mayberry, but somehow whiter and more boring. The hardware store, the children's clinic, The police station, the dress shop. The old guy who owned the diner was hosing down the sidewalk as the sun rose over the treetops. The light gave something as eerie, orangey red glow, red fire glow. The old guy tipped his baseball hat at Becky. She stumbled on a crack in the asphalt, caught herself, stared straight ahead, pretending like she hadn't seen him drop the hose, and moved to help because she wanted to keep him at the forefront of her mind. The truth that every person on earth was an asshole and a life sucked. Becky, her mother had said, taking the plastic hair clip out of her purse. I made it this time. I want it back. The hair clip, two hinged chrome, with one of the teeth broken, total shell like a cat. Julia Stiles wrote one in 10 Things I Hate About You, which Becky had watched with her mom a quadrillion times because it was one of the few movies that they both loved. And I loved that movie too. Kaylee would not have stolen the clip off her nightstand. She was a soulless bitch, but she knew what the hair clip meant to Becky because they had both gotten stoned one night and Becky had spilled the entire story. That she was in English class when the principal came to her, that the resources officer had been waiting in the hall, and she had freaked out because she had never been in trouble before. But she wasn't in trouble. Somewhere deep in her body, Becca must have known that something was horribly wrong, because when the cops started talking, her hearing had gone in and out like a bad cell connection. Stray words cutting through the static. Mother, interstate, drunk driver. So maybe her mom was killed by a drunk driver. Weirdly, Becky had reached behind her head for the clip. The last thing her mother had touched before leaving the house. Becky had opened the jaws. She had finger combed in her she had finger combed her hair to shake it out. She had squeezed the plastic clip so hard in her palm that a tooth had broken. She remembered thinking that her mother was going to kill her. I wanted back. But then she realized that her mother couldn't kill her ever again because her mother was dead. Becky brushed tears from her face as she neared the end of Main Street, left or right, towards the lake where the professors and rich people lived, or towards the tiny lots punctuated by double wides and starter homes. She took a right away from the lake. On her iPad, Florida had given, or Florida had given way to Nicki Minaj. Her stomach churned the Doritos and cinnamon buns, squeezing out the sugar and sending it into her throat. She clicked off the music. She let the headphones drop back around her neck. Her lungs did that chivalry thing that signaled that they were ready to stop, but she pushed through, taking in deep gulps, her eyes still stinging as her thoughts scattered back to sitting on the couch with her mother, chomping on Skinny Girl popcorn while they sang along to Heath Ledger to Can't Take My Eyes Off of You. You're just too good to be true. Becky ran faster. The air grew stale the deeper she got into the sad neighborhood. The street signs were oddly breakfast themed. SW Oatmeal Road, Hash Brown Way. Becky never went this direction, especially at this hour. The orangey red light had turned to dirty brown. Faded pickup trucks and old cars pocketed, pocket, pocketed the streets. Paint peeled from the houses. A lot of windows were boarded up. Her heels started to throb from pain. Surprise. The hole in her sock was rubbing a blister. Becky's memory tossed out an image. Kaylee jumping out of bed wearing nothing but a sock. Becky's sock. She slowed to a walk. Then she stopped in the middle of the street. Her hands rested on her knees as she bent over to catch her breath. Her foot was full on stinging now like a hornet, like a hornet was trapped inside her shoe. There was no way she would make it back to campus without skinning off her heel. She was supposed to meet Dr. Adams at 7 this morning to go over her paper. Becky didn't know what time it was now, but she knew that Dr. Adams would be annoyed if she didn't show. This wasn't high school. The professors could really screw with you if you wasted their time. Kaylee would have to pick her up. She was a deplorable human being. But she always could be relied on to ride to the rescue, if only for the drama. Becky reached into her pocket, but then her memory drenched up another set of images. Becky at the library slipping her phone into her backpack, then later at the dorm dropping her backpack onto the kitchen floor. No phone, no Kaylee, no help. The sun was higher above the trees now, but Becky still felt an encroaching darkness. Nobody knew where she was. Nobody was expecting her back. She was in a strange neighborhood. A strange, bad neighborhood. Knocking on the door, asking someone to use the phone seemed like a beginning of Dateline. She could hear the narrator in her head. Becky's roommates figured she was taking time to cool down. Dr. Adams assumed she had blown off the meeting because she had failed to complete her assignment. No one realized the angry young college freshman had knocked on the door of the cannibal rapist. What?
I got a good idea. You know what? You need to do the solution.
Okay.
Just watch this carefully.
I know.
Because it's from here. You can screw the screw from here. Just point it there. I know that.
Yeah, I know. The pungent odor of rot told her.
Yeah, but without a screw, you can just take it off with some screw.
Yeah, I know.
And that's all. Watch this.
Okay.
Watch this screw.
Yeah, you can do it like that. Yeah, I know. Back into reality.
It's on top.
Yeah, it
This thing.
Yeah. A garbage truck rolled into the intersection at the mouth of the street. The brakes squealed to a stop. A guy in a onesie jumped off the back, rolled over a trash can, and clipped it to the lift thingy. Becky watched the mechanical gears grinding inside the truck. One onesie guy hadn't bothered to look in her direction, but Becky was suddenly overwhelmed by the feeling that she was being watched. Rape o'clock. She turned around, trying to remember if she had taken a left or a right into this particular road. She took a right. There wasn't even a street sign. The feeling of being watched grew more intense. Becky scanned the houses, the insides of the trucks and cars. Nothing stared back. No curtain switched at the window. No cannibal rapist stepped out to offer his assistance. Her brain immediately did the things that women weren't supposed to do. Chiseled herself for being scared, pushed down her gut instinct, told her to go towards the situation that frightened her instead of running away like a baby. Becky countered the arguments. Get out of the middle of the street. Stay close to the houses because people are inside. Scream your fucking head off if anyone comes close. Get back to the campus because that's where you'll be safe. All good advice. But where was the campus? She edged sideways between two parked cars and found herself not on the sidewalk, but in a narrow strip of weeds running between the two houses. In the city, she would have called it an alley, but here, it was more like an abandoned lot. Cigarette butts and broken beer bottles spotted the ground. Becky could see a neatly mowed field behind the houses. Wait, yeah. Then the forest just beyond the rise. Going into the woods seemed counterintuitive, but Becky was intimately familiar with the packed dirt trails that crisscrossed the forest. She would probably find other Type A students riding bikes or heading to the lake to do tai cha or squeezing an early morning run. She looked up, using the sun as a guide. Heading west would lead her back to campus. Listed or not, she would eventually have to return to the dorm because she couldn't afford to fail organic chemistry. Becky tasted a sour burp in her mouth that had a distinct cinnamon undertone. Her throat felt thick. The vending machine treats were pushing for a second appearance. She had to get back to the dorm before she puked. She was not going to barf like a cat in the grass. Interesting. I would just barf right there. Come on now. Walking between the two houses made her shudder so hard that her teeth clicked. She picked up the pace across the open field, not running, but not exactly strolling either. The blisters felt like a pinch on her heel every time she stepped down. Wincing seemed to help. Then she was gritting it through it. Then she was jogging through the field, her back burning with 1,000 eyes that were probably not watching her. Probably. The temperature dropped as she breached the line into the forest. Shadows moved in and out of her preparatory. She easily found one of the trails that she run on a million times before. Her hand reached for her iPad, but she changed her mind. She wanted to hear the quiet of the forest. Only an occupational ray of sun managed to slice through the thick tree canopy.
I need a pumpkin.
I know.
The cat pumpkin.
Okay.
Give me it.
Okay, I will. Hold on.
Now.
No, I have to do this. Hold on.
But I'm hungry.
Okay,
Donuts. Give me some donuts.
Okay, hold on. The donuts are right there. Right there.
I'm just going to get them.
Okay. She
Got them.
wanted to hear the quiet of the forest.
Mommy.
What?
I got the whole stick.
Okay.
Can I have all of them?
Not all of them. Just pick one. Because your food is going to go in the oven.
It's yours.
Yeah, I know. Only an occupational ray of sun managed. Huh?
I might need the bowl.
Okay, get a bowl. It's right over there.
I'm just going to get
What?
2.
Huh?
I'm just going to get 2.
One bowl. Hurry up, Bobby.
Yeah, I'm just going to get 1 bowl, but I'm going to get 2 donuts.
Okay, go. Hurry up. Her hand, she found.
Mommy,
What?
I might need 2 bowls because I'm having 2
Okay,
donuts.
get 2 bowls. I don't care. I'm going to wash them both. She easily found one of the trails.
I got 2 bowls.
Okay, go. Go. She easily found one of the trails that she run on a million times before. Her hand reached her iPad, but she changed her mind. She wanted to hear the quiet of the forest. Only an occasional ray of sun managed to slice through.
Mommy,
What?
I'm just going to keep the bag right here.
Okay.
Okay, so I want more donuts.
All right.
This bowl is kind of wet, but I'm going to put the donut in it.
Okay.
It's just going to be wet and soggy, but that's
It's
okay.
wet because it was cleaned.
Yeah, I want
Okay.
donut too.
Please let me finish. Only an occasional ray of sun managed to slice through the thick tree canopy. She thought about earlier this morning, standing in front of the fridge, the cool air cupping her burning hot cheeks, the empty popcorn bags and Coke bottles scattered across the floor. They would pay for her back for the food. They always paid her back. They weren't thieves. They were just too lazy to go to the store and too disorganized to make a list when Becky offered to shop for them. Becky? The sound of the man's voice made Becky turn her head, but her body kept moving forward. She saw his face in the split second between stumbling and falling. He looked kind, concerned. Her hand was reaching out to her as she fell. Her head cracked against something hard. Blood filled her mouth. Her vision blurred. She tried to roll over, but only made it halfway. Her hair was caught on something,
Mommy.
pulling, tugging. She reached.
Mommy,
What?
the scientist just watching was not asking about me, it was about healthy stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not even eating healthy stuff.
No, not right now. You will be, though.
Wait, no, I'm not really, because I'm eating donuts. That's not healthy.
No, it's not. She reached behind her head, for some reason expecting to find her mother's hair clip. What she found instead was wood and steel. Then the man's face came into focus, and she realized that the thing that was lodged inside her head, her skull, was a hammer. And that is the end of the prologue of The Silent Wife. Sorry for my son interrupting, but yeah, if you want to pick this out, this is available in bookstores wherever they are sold. And comment down below if you have read and liked this video. Click thumbs up if you want to support my channel, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!